stories that we tell ourselves color our lens, right? If that's the lens through which we receive those experiences, and then they're completely open to interpretation by our body and our nervous system. And then how we store those, we end up living out, very physically living out every experience that we have. And that to me is mind boggling. And so when we start dismantling stories and we start looking at like, what do I believe? Why do I believe it? We will see like so many of the things that we have, they do not bring us peace. They don't bring us closer to God and closer to God's like blueprint or design for us. It's literal, I mean, what we would call, I guess, trauma. These stories are like trauma stories. Mm. And I have seen so many of them in myself surface lately that it has been shocking, honestly. Just like, wait, I believe what? Not like what we want to believe, right? We all have these like lists of things that like, okay, this is what I believe. We're doing our like little affirmations about it. It's like, okay, but do you really believe that? Or do you want to believe that? Because there's a difference, and we need to get to what we really believe about something and not what we want to believe about something. I have a whole bunch of things I want to believe about stuff, but like at the end of the day, that's not the lens that I'm viewing my world through. I'm viewing my world through the lens of what I actually believe, how I actually experience things and see things.
So freaking huge. And I'm just going to say the last couple of weeks, I've had a couple of different conversations with Shannon. And of course, this is what she said to me. This is what came up. And after that, it was probably a couple days later. And I have a journal now that's got pages and pages of things that I wrote down because there were things I was experiencing physically. And I was talking to her about it. And she's like, you're going to want to look at this, because there were things that came out in the conversation out of my body. Like, and my mouth, part of my body, literally like projectile out of my mouth as I'm talking to Shannon. And I was like, whoa, I have never said that in my whole life. Like, oh, hold on. And then she's like, yeah, you're going to want to look at that. What is that? And so digging into that meant digging into other things, meant other things. And I told her even before we got on here tonight, it's like the unraveling is so great. It's just so vast. It's like all these things tied together. And I'm sure it's true for all of us, you know? What I find really interesting about this conversation, Shannon, is that years ago, when I started doing personal development, they wanted to dig in to the places of beliefs, right? So it was like, well, where did that belief come from? Where did that belief come from? And I don't even know that they could even get to the part of talking about what's the story you're telling. I mean, a little bit, yes, but there's something different here for me in listening to you share this, because when you actually bring the connection of the body into the story, like that to me is such a game changer. Because it's one thing to like really stay in a mental space of like, what do I believe? And trying to change your belief without getting real about what the real belief is. Yeah. Like, hello, humongous.
Yeah. And like, does that mean that we're stuck in our story again? No, but I'm going to have to see what the story is, what I really believe about something, truly on a soul deep cellular kind of level. What do I believe about it before I can even hope to start to change it?